Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Durban, Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi. Ms. Lee Potclear. She's a passionate 500-hour Hatha, Yin, and restorative yoga instructor. She enjoys holding a space where pupils can come and find their quiet place and discover their physical abilities and the benefits of asana practice, coupled with pranayama, which are breathing techniques. She also teaches meditation, which helps still the mind amidst today's stresses and chaos. Ms. Parita Harila. She's a healthcare worker at a hospital. She also is a social worker and has been practicing social work for the past 23 years. And she has a special interest in holistic and health wellness. Dr. Nabashni Maharaj. Dr. Nabashni Maharaj is a homeopath and educator at UKZN. She's been attending yoga classes for the past 4 years. She's also a mother of 2 teenagers and resides in Westville. Namaskar, and greetings to all of you distinguished guests and our online viewers. Welcome to our Sarva Hitay Yoga for All Episode 2, Yoga for Healthcare Workers. In celebration of the Yoga Month 2021, we thank you for joining us and we hope you enjoy today's episode.
Greetings to the Podkeeters. Thank you for availing yourself for today's presentation and demonstration of Yoga for Healthcare Workers. I am particularly interested in this as a healthcare worker myself. So we're going to start with you taking us through how do you understand or define yoga?
Right, so firstly, Barita, thank you so much for having me. Yoga for me is very much an integrated, balanced, spiritual education system. It is much more than just doing asana practice. It is mind science, body science, science of breath work. You know, the root word of yoga is yug, which means union or unite or join. And what that actually means is that you want to unite the pure consciousness with the pure energy to get to know the true self with a capital S. So it is for me also a journey and a way to get closer to God. It takes you on that journey through quietening the mind, through exercising the body, by using the breath to quieten and become one with God. So it is so much more than a physical practice. So for me, that is what yoga is.
Wonderful. How is it beyond any physical fitness, technique, or exercise? Lee?
So you do need the physical because you do need to strengthen the body. So there's a whole lot of asanas that you can work through to strengthen the body. It also uses as a therapy. Definitely going beyond, because using the asanas dispels some of that nervous energy, if I can call it nervous energy, and it helps to quieten the mind. So together with the breath work, you can become quiet, because ideally you want to sit in a meditative state for a while. And being able to sit, you need strength in the body. You need strength in the spine. You need strength. You need to be able to draw the shoulders back and down. And the only way you can do that is through practicing asana. So you need asana. But taking you through it is ideally about the spiritual, getting to know God.
Would you say, is it applicable, beneficial, and useful to all? By this I mean with reference to people across all ages, people with disabilities, people from different social, cultural, and religious backgrounds, and across all identities?
Oh, absolutely.
Please explain that for us.
Barita, absolutely. This is such an exciting question because let's take it from the top. You've got the elderly. They need to use their joints to not lose the mobility. So they need to be mobile and be kept moving of the arms and the legs and the hips and especially the spine, because you know there's a saying that says you are only as young as what your spine is. Right. I have had the privilege of doing restorative yoga with ladies who are going through cancer treatment. So definitely you make it accessible for somebody who's going through treatment. It is a different type of yoga. in restorative yoga, you draw the floor up towards the body, whereas other yoga, like for example yin yoga, you take the body down towards the floor. So with props and blankets and a lot of TLC and nurturing, you can actually even take someone who's currently going through treatment for cancer into a place where they can become so quiet and restore, because let's face it, what's more stressful than going through cancer? And then for children, and then for people who are in a wheelchair. I mean, it's so accessible. I mean, you do upper body movements with the arms. There's so much that you can do. Taking it through to all levels of people, whether they're CEOs or whether they are working in the shop, it is absolutely accessible. And then you can also use it for, there was one that I was particularly thinking of, especially stressed housewives, very good for stressed housewives. And I actually have now completely forgotten the next one that I was going to refer to. The children, the wheelchair people, the cancer people, religion. Yoga is not a religion. Religious people do yoga. So whether they are using it to become closer to God, or whether they are using it to become quieter in self, it is available to everyone. It really is, and it's as easy as rolling out your mat. Yes.
So thank you for enlightening us on that one. This is the question that I'm actually quite interested in, is can you enlighten us on some specific asanas for healthcare workers?
Oh, absolutely. So my first thing is, at the moment, healthcare workers are very stressed. So they need to do things that quieten the mind. So it immediately comes to mind is the breath work. They are also always hunched over, whether they're hunching over a patient, whether they are hunching over the desk work, or whether they're looking at a computer. There's no opening up of the front body. And by opening up, you're creating space in your heart. And also enabling the breath. So for me, for healthcare workers, they need more towards a restorative, but also time is of the essence for them. So lying with their legs up against the wall when they get home from work is probably one of the best things that they can do, because it quietens the mind. The circulation, they've been on their feet all day, so the circulation, gravity does its thing, and everything just restores again. It is really, really so accessible and so available to them. So for healthcare workers, unless they've got a lot of time and there's space, I wouldn't be able to visualize myself rolling out my mat on the hospital floor, now would I? No. So for me, it is more sitting in a chair and doing yoga that goes with that.
Thank you. Stemming from that question, would you like to sort of suggest and highlight some precautions and special concerns that healthcare workers need to be considered of in the process of practicing yoga regularly?
Yes. So thank you for that, because people do often think they can just flip over into a headstand and we'll be done with it and they're feeling amazing. So obviously the first teacher is your own body. And then you are guided by the different postures, and your body will tell you what it needs. Whether you're needing a twist, whether you're needing a forward fold to calm down, quieten down, you've still got to take the necessary precautions, because to fold forward when you're standing, your head is below your heart. So if you've got low blood pressure and you're holding that for a while, you're going to come up and you're going to be really dizzy. So then in that case, you don't go fully folded forward, you only go halfway. When you've got eye problems, ear problems, pressure, heart problems, you don't turn upside down. It is not ideal. Having said that, you've got high blood pressure on the other side, and a lot of people suffer with high blood pressure. The best pose for high blood pressure is a forward fold. Okay? So with a forward fold, you hold that for 3 minutes every day, and it brings down the blood pressure very, very well. Also, if you've got a herniated disc, a forward fold is not ideal. Then you want to be opening slightly back, and you definitely don't want to twist. So there are so many things that you've got to take into consideration, but being pregnant, you can still do everything to a point. In the first trimester, obviously, you don't go full back bend because you're still protecting and nurturing this little seed that's being planted. You can do a gentle back bend. You can twist, but you twist in an open twist to accommodate the belly and to accommodate the tummy. But what better way to prepare for birth than having yoga? But for a healthcare worker, it is definitely opening up the spine, being aware that if she's got a back issue, she doesn't go fully into a back bend, but she does do a little bit of back bending, but not so much forward bending because those herniated discs can be aggravated. Yeah.
Thank you for those useful insights. That was actually quite informative and so relevant in the current times that we as healthcare workers are faced with. You know, the challenges of stress, burnout, fatigue. So I'm actually happy for this information, and I'm certain that my colleagues are all going to appreciate this.
Yes.
So I look forward to the demonstrations now that you're going to take us through.
Thank you. We've invited Navashni to do our demonstrations for us. We're going to set up, and then we're going to do the dance.
We'll take it through.
Okay. Right, it's up.
Right. Thank you very much. We've got Navashni Maharaj here. We are going to do some demonstrations that the healthcare workers specifically can use after a hard day's work. It is really brief. It is super simple to do. It's accessible to everyone. Even if you have a shoulder problem, if you have a hip problem, if you have a knee problem, we can accommodate all of that. So thank you, Navashni, for joining us today. Right. So firstly, we're going to start off with some deep breathing, because I think when somebody is stressed and they've had a day that is really, really busy and really stressed, the best way to start is by closing the eyes and sitting up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, just bring the chin parallel to the ground. Take the shoulders back and down. Keep the hands comfortably, whether they're palmed up. Maybe palming up is a good idea because this indicates receiving. Nice deep breath in. And you want to slow down your exhale, because slowing down the exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest phase of the body. And Ashni is just taking it nice and easy. Nice breath in and a slow, steady, smooth breath out. Breath in, a slow, steady, long exhale out. One more. On your next inhale, gently open the eyes. Stretching the hands out next to you. You want to take in a nice deep breath and reach the hands out to the sky, keeping the palms parallel to each other. Soften in the shoulders. Beautiful. Now you're going to breathe in, Navash, and grow tall, and as you exhale, you're going to twist to your right and place your back hand on the back of the chair and the left hand either over the knee or onto the chair. Breathe in, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, you're going to twist a little bit more. Remembering that not twisting when you've got a prolapsed disc or herniated disc in the spine. Right, you're going to stretch, take your chin forward, breathe in as you come to center. Reach the arms up to the sky, and as you exhale, a nice gentle twist over to the opposite side. Beautiful. And you'll notice Navashni's back is nice and straight, which is exactly what you're looking for when you're twisting. And you try and use your abdominal muscles to twist, as opposed to pulling on the chair or pushing onto the knee to try and get you into a deeper twist. Right, you're going to come out, so breathe in, reach the arms up, and exhale, take the hands down next to you. Our next pose is a beautiful stretch over the shoulder, Garudasana, the eagle pose. So you can take your arms out to the side, going right arm under, left arm over. So Navashni has a shoulder injury. She's going to hug herself while I go into the full pose of Garudasana. So this gives a beautiful stretch over the shoulder blades. You can, if you're feeling a little bit creative, take in a breath. And as you exhale, just slightly hinge forward and round the back even more so that you stretch out those tight muscles. And then breathe in and up you come. Undo the arms, take them nice and wide. And as you exhale, bring the hands in the opposite way. Lovely. Depending on your shoulder, Navash, you can lift the elbows slightly, but if your shoulder does not like it, you don't do that. Soften into the neck, Draw your front ribs in toward your back ribs. Breathe in, and as you exhale, just a gentle tuck of the chin, rounding out through those tight shoulders. And here you connect with your breath. Breathe in, come back up. Exhale, reach the arms nice and wide. Interlace the hands behind your back or take hold of the chair's legs or the sides of the chairs and open up your chest. So very important to open up the chest, especially because you're hunching over the patients, you're hunching over the computer keyboard. You want to open up your front body, opening up your heart. And maybe if your neck allows it, you can take that nice and long. And as you've noticed, it's quite easy to do this on the chair. Breathe in, as you exhale, bring your chin down and release the hands. We're now going to do the Surya Namaskar, but we're doing it in the chair. Very easily accessible and nice and comfortable. Right. Breathe in, reach the arms up to the sky, keeping the hands parallel to each other. Take in a breath. As you exhale, fold completely over the thighs. Breathe in and come up to halfway. Exhale and fold down. Breathe in, and now as you come up, raise up your right leg. Hug the right leg in, lengthen into the spine, look up. Exhale, round the back and take the nose to the knee. Breathe in. As you come up, release the knee, take it down, reach up toward. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, reach up as you come up. Okay, that's fine. Hug the left knee into the chest, lengthen into the spine. Exhale, tuck the nose in. Breathe in, reach up nice and tall. Exhale and fold completely over. Take a moment here, let the head hang. Just feel what your body is feeling. Connect with the day and release it. Soften into the shoulders. Right, now you're going to come right up. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, take the hands to the sides of the chair. Hold on to the chair and lift up both legs nice and straight. And release. And down you come. Breathe in, reach up. And bring your hands into Namaste in front of your heart. Take a moment, closing the eyes, connecting with the breath. Remember, this is after a stressful day. This is after you want to slow down and release the tension. Breathe in, open the eyes, and release the hands. I'm going to introduce some poses where Navashni is going to be lying down, which is super important for especially healthcare workers. And when you come home from work, I wouldn't, as I said earlier, like to lie down on the floor on the hospital, but when you come home, certainly you can lie down on the floor with your legs up the wall. Or just before you go to sleep, you lie on your bed, shimmy your buttocks right up onto your pillow, and raise your feet above your headboard. And you lie like that from anything from 5 to 20 minutes. It helps with circulation, it reduces swelling in the legs, and it's just simply preparing you for bed. So we're now going to set Navashni up so that she can show us how. Right. I'm now going to show you to place Navashni in a position with lying her legs over a chair, over her bed, or up the wall. Navashni, will you come down to the floor? Notice how Navashni comes in. She shimmies her buttocks right up against the side, goes down onto the elbows, and swings and places her legs up. While I, in the meantime, am going to place a pillow below her buttocks. She's going to lift up her hips, release here. I've got you. Placing the buttocks under, the pillow under the buttocks. Right. Tuck your chin in slightly, Navashni, so that you lengthen the back of the neck. Open up the shoulders, turn the palms up to face the ceiling. And this position, Navashni can stay in between 5 and 20 minutes. Close your eyes. And here's where you let the day go. So it's very important to place something under the hips, especially for ladies. It just gives a little bit of a lift, and it doesn't imprint and allow the blood to pool there because you're going to be lying here for a while. So Navash, just to pretend that you're on the wall, just lift the legs up, resting them on the wall. And that's what it looks like. Right, bend your knees. Now to come out, you're going to slide your legs down the wall towards the left and then roll up, stay there, and stay seated in that position just for a moment. Or obviously you go down into bed and you go to sleep. The second position we want to show you is where the shoulders are being opened up. So Navash, would you like to lie down on the mat again? I'm going to remove this pillow. So what I have here is I have rolled up a blanket, but you can use a towel, and you roll up from this closed side of the towel. So Navashni, go down onto your elbows and lie yourself down. Now how this blanket is going to be placed is approximately in this position, just underneath her lower ribs, and then she's going to fold over the top, placing it under her head. Okay, come off again. Right. So we're finding the bottom end of her ribs. Right, you're going to go down, position it in the correct place, underneath the spine. She's going to reach over, tuck the top of the towel or the blanket under, not so much, just once. There you go. Right. Turn the palms up and notice how her chest has opened up to enable breathing, and she can fall asleep like this. A different way of doing Shavasana, opening up the heart, opening up the chest. And that's it. And then obviously the best yoga pose that everyone knows, even those who don't do yoga, is Shavasana. Right, so Navash, maybe you just want to roll over onto your side. I'll remove the blanket for you, don't roll. There you go, down you come. Position yourself down. I'm going to place this under your neck, just lift up your head slightly. Palms are turned up, pinky toes are dropped out to the outside. Remembering that the word Sarva means corpse. So this is a conscious relaxation. This is quietening the mind, focusing on your breath. Sometimes you lie down in this pose and you find your mind wandering and you start making shopping lists and everything. Find yourself a mantra. Whether that is, I am enough, today is good, make it positive and make it work for you. Namaste.
Thank you to all our yoga teachers who participated, and that brings us to an end of today's episode 2 of our Sarva Hitay Yoga for All series. I would like to thank the director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi. On behalf of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, I would like to thank our guests, Miss Lee Pudkhiter, Miss Parita Harila, Miss Navashni Maharaj, for lending us their time and showing us the importance of yoga. I want to thank our online viewers for being with us, and please remember to like us on our Facebook page and join us for more episodes.